Hey there, folks. It's Tony here at the Essence of Travel and Discoveries. Welcome, welcome, welcome to, well, what are we at here? Monday evening, and it is, what are we at here? December 9th. And I'm coming to you because this whole insurance thing, this medical insurance and the assassination of the CEO, which thank goodness they did catch the suspect today. And, uh, we don't know for sure, but that guy really looks like it. So, um, it's quite interesting to see how everything played out. And kudos to the McDonald's employee who had recognized that individual. So I am hoping the FBI does not screw that person out of the reward money because that's only fair. They turned him in, and they should get that reward money. So kudos to the employee. Second of all, kudos to the FBI though for apprehending that suspect. So now that the thanks and stuff like that is given, I just want to say a couple things. First of all, when I go to show you something here today, um, yeah, you're gonna it's gonna make your hair curl. Um, there's so many people up in arms, me included, and very upset at how medical insurance conducts their business. You understand they're a business, looking to be profitable. But how much profit do you really need? When you're in the billions. Now, people understand what profit means. Profit is that is everything's paid. That's what's left over. So when they say profits, that's money they put in the bank, they gain interest, they invest, whatever. That's profits. Profits. And we're in the billions. And folks like myself are getting bills, ones that have medical insurance as well, and we're getting billed. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, my mind is just blown. And I was going through this today, and I like to follow things like this case and stuff like that because there's always the hidden things, and you know your skeletons do come out. They do. So, and that's what's happening here. I think finally the insurance companies are going to be brought to their knees through government regulation and everything else. I think they're going to be held more accountable. And I'm hoping that this situation here, although violent and we do not condone it, I hope it does send a message to these insurance companies that look at you have to stop putting profits before lives. I mean, we understand you're a business, but come on. My doctors, they tell me all the time how the insurance company screws them. I mean, you know the drill, you know the story, and they're terrible. So what I'm about to show you, I'm going to give you a little quick history here, and then I'm going to share my screen here with some papers that I have received. And now, mind you, too, I've had medical insurance for the last 40 plus years. Always paid my premiums, and yeah, I had to use it a couple times, of course. Most recently, I had to use it this May 17th, where I had open heart surgery. And wait till I walk you through this. You're going to be like scratching your head, like, I mean, first of all, listen, you can't make this shit up. You just can't. This is daily stuff that the insurance companies put people through. So, 2023, let me bring you back. 2009. I was originally uh not diagnosed, but they had noticed there was a dilation of 4.2 centimeter, uh, not an aneurysm at that time. It was just a dilation on my aortic valve, which is just it goes into the heart that provides all your main supply to your body. And if you don't have it, you don't live. Just plain simple. But it was 4.2 dilation, nothing to be concerned about at the time. My doctor never told me about it, and there's never been any follow-up until 2023. Now, in 2023, in March, actually, Actually, I take that back. In January, my doctor had said, "Hey, look at, you're getting up there in age. You've had high blood pressure for a while. You've had high stress jobs, and we want to get you take a look at, make sure everything's okay for you. If there's any damage, because again, you've had high blood pressure for a number of years, and again, going to my age, getting up there near 60." So I said, "Sure, no problem." Went, got everything checked out, blood work, renal scan, all this stuff. Came back, no problem. What came back a problem is they said, "Hey, we noticed that there seems to be an enlargement of some sort on your aortic valve. We'd like to send you to a cardiologist." Boom, send me to a cardiologist. They do an echocardiogram and realize, yep, I have a 4.8 centimeter aneurysm now. So what from a dilation to an aneurysm? Well, now we're getting serious here. Sends me for CAT scan. The CAT scan confirms it was a 4.9 actually, and said, "Well, we're just going to monitor it. Watch your diet." Had to change a whole bunch of things. The stress from work was pretty much relieved. There was very little left, and I was able to get a full year. I went a full year. Had the test done again, echocardiogram, CAT scan, and the difference of people reading things is incredible. So you have a radiologist who's reading the the uh, CAT scan at a 5.1, and then you got another radiologist reading a different one, reading the echocardiogram as a 4.9. You think, well, that's kind of close. No, it's actually quite different. So knowing that, I changed cardiologist at that time. So I start seeing my new cardiologist, Dr. D'Angelo out of Buffalo Medical Group, because that's where our primary's at. Love that place, love that organization. You do a great job, and I love their personal connection. So we go to do this. He says, "All right, we're gonna you just went for these tests. I want to send you to Cleveland Clinic. I want them to take a look at you, do some more tests." He says, "Do that as a second opinion, even for your own peace of mind." So I did. I scheduled that, talked to Cleveland Clinic, got in there, got scheduled. Obviously, got the insurance approval at that time, because if they don't have the approval, they're not going to schedule it. They got the approval, they scheduled it. I went in, had the test done, echocardiogram, a whole battery of tests again. I was there for 2 days. And lo and behold, the aneurysm is a 5.2. It's growing. It's growing rapidly. Well, they said, "Listen, it's growing rapidly. We want to get you in for surgery. You can go home, get some things, and you're going to be back here pretty quickly." So his Dr. Kopovanik was my surgeon. Awesome guy, tall too, 6'8". Jeez. But his team was gonna be in touch with me pretty quickly to schedule a day to get me in there, uh, for one more set of tests, and then, um, the surgery. It's okay. So we we're getting everything all prepped. I have a surgical date the weekend before. May 17th is the day of surgery. I went in there on 5/14, and again, did some more tests, stuff like that. But prior to that, that weekend, Um, or I'm sorry, 5/15 we went. 5/15. Yeah, May 15th we went. So that weekend prior though, I was sitting there on the couch, and I was starting to have these sharp pains in my back. Like they hurt. I mean, real bad. And I have a high tolerance for pain, but I couldn't even stand it. And check my blood pressure. It was extremely high, very high. So I called our son. Well, my wife called our son. He's a paramedic. He came over. He says, "Yeah, Dad," he goes, "your blood pressure's all over the place." He goes, "I'm gonna get a bus over here," is what they call them. Those are ambulances. And they had an ambulance come by, and he rode with me to Buffalo General here in Buffalo, New York, and brought me right into getting a CAT scan. Dr. Church was just an amazing ER doctor. I can't say the rest for everybody else there. I really can't. So moving forward is they go in there, I get a CAT scan immediately, they come back out. Dr. Church says, "Well, they're saying it's a 4.8." I said, "Doc, it's not. I'm scheduled for surgery. It's actually 5.2." And he goes, "Well, we're going to go with that because Cleveland Clinic has it all set for you." So, okay, moving things around, they put me into this other room in the ER, and I'm starting to experience some more chest pains, very much discomfort. Said, "Okay, well, not sure what's going on there. We're going to start treating it." The nurse in there gave me a one med, I believe it's called Dilantin, and it wasn't doing anything. Then she gives me a nitro. That wasn't doing anything. So then she goes to give me another Dilatin, and our son, who's a paramedic, says, "Whoa, time out. You can't do that. He'll crash." And gets in an argument with them and told him, "Don't you tell me what I'm to do. You're the medic. I'm the nurse. I'm in charge. I'll do what I'm to do." Well, she did. And sure enough, what happened? Crashed to the point where I passed out. Came to, I was not happy. Um, those two were arguing, but they were trying to obviously get me stable. I became, they got me stable. And eventually I got up to a room. Once I got up in the room, I was there for 3 days, 3 days, and during that time, from the time of the ER to the time I was discharged, I asked for a cardiologist. The cardiologist on call, day 1 goes by, nobody. Day 2, nobody. Then it was an excuse, "Well, they're really busy." Aortic aneurysm, how busy can you really be? But if you're that busy, then you need to put on some more cardiologist. Okay, I'll wait. Another day goes by. Ask again. "Oh, well, he's really busy. He can't get here today." Wait, what? What do you mean? What do you mean can't get here? The other doc came in. I don't remember her name. She was extremely rude. Talked down to me like I was some sort of a peasant and I didn't know what I was talking about. And I go, "Well, son's a paramedic. I was an EMT for a long time. I got an idea. So don't walk circles around me." And well, she didn't like that because now I have some sort of knowledge and it's going to test her. She is very extremely arrogant. She says, "Well, we're gonna get you scheduled for a stress test first thing in the morning." And I said, "Whoa, stress test? You got to be kidding me! There's no way to put me into a stress test. Uh, that's ludicrous. I'll die." Do you understand? It's a 5.1, 5.2 centimeter dilation. The aneurysm's gonna burst. I wanted to see the cardiologist because I wanted to know and confirm that if it was that critical to have it operated on at that moment, then I'll sit at Buffalo General. Well, all these things happening now are talking me out of it, especially the doctor's rudeness and arrogance towards me. So then I go and she says, "We're gonna schedule." I said, "No, I refuse. I'm not doing that." "Well, you're refusing medical treatment." I said, "Stop talking to me like I'm a child. I'm not refusing it. I'm telling you right now that it's not in the best interest of my safety and my health to have this test." Got pissed off and walked out. Came back in, tried to get some other things, and I said, "Well, listen, is the cardiologist coming in or not? Cardiac surgeon." "No, I'm in charge and I'm going to take care of this." And I go, "No." And on top of it, I was never even put on a cardiac floor. I was in the general wing. No IV, no nothing other than just a heart monitor. That was it. Now, did I need an IV? Probably not. But thoracic aorta aneurysm came in with, pain and all that stuff. You might want to think of those things. Well, they were extremely arrogant. So I said, "No, I'm going to discharge myself because I do not feel safe here that you can adequately handle my aneurysm in the surgery. You're giving me every indication that you're incompetent." Well, the reason I said that is because they got in my face about it. And I'm like, "Well, no, I'm out of here. I got surgery. I'm going to the professionals." So, um, when it comes to Buffalo General, I will not. ever go there. And then from there on in, I've heard nothing but complaints. I've recommended people to go to Cleveland Clinic, and the first thing they say is, "Man, I went to Buffalo General. I wouldn't bring my dog there." Yeah, it's dirty, it's disgusting. The chairs were sticky. You touch them, it's like, "Oh my gosh." One nurse's aide came in and he's F-bombing this to this other nurse and like real sweet talking her like she's some sort of a sex object for him. And I'm like, in front of patients, should have been fired immediately. That is the mentality at Buffalo General Hospital. They're terrible. They're arrogant. They should be investigated by the state. They should be fined. And if need be, shut them down. They're a disgusting place for medical treatment. Disgusting. They should be ashamed of themselves. And all the ones that put money towards it, like West Hereford and all these other ones, you know what? Thank you for putting money towards it. But have you really gone into the other areas where they don't want you to see because they polish the areas for you to see in order to get the money? Ask to go up on the floor sometime, touch the chairs, look at the floors. It's disgusting. Anyway, so now that rant's over. Moving forward, I get to Cleveland Clinic. Well, I called Dr. D'Angelo on the way home from being discharged several days later, and he was thoroughly disgusted about how the treatment was and what I've explained to him. He contacted his good friend who is in charge of Buffalo General to discuss with them the issues at hand. Then I thought, okay, well, things will get done. Well, found out 2 weeks later, nothing was done because a friend of ours went there and she's scared to death because her husband almost died and they didn't do a thing. They put him in a dirty room in a corner. It's disgusting. I believe she was going to file a complaint. I don't know if she ever did. So, anyways, pushing forward here. So, Dr. D'Angelo, I talked to him. I already had scheduled for surgery. A few days later, we're already on our way to Cleveland Clinic. Finally, get a call from the cardiologist from Buffalo General, from the um, cardiac surgeon who I was supposed to see when I was there. Finally calls and says, "Oh, the doctor's available to see you. When can you come in?" I'm like, "Really?" So I explained to her and I go, "Unbelievable." I said, "No, no." I said, "I'll never be a patient of his ever, and I'll never recommend him, period, to anybody." So get to Cleveland Clinic. That's the day they called. That's the day they called. So I go in, check in Cleveland Clinic, I get all my tests done, meet with the financial team, stuff like that. Things are moving forward because I have Highmark Insurance of Western New York, which Highmark is Blue Cross Blue Shield, the worst healthcare company ever, ever. So then met with them, thought everything was all set. Then go through surgery, everything's good, recover, I'm at home. And most recently, I start getting letters in July and August saying, "Hey, this, and this wasn't covered, and then this, and this wasn't covered." Yeah. So here we are, and I'm going to share a screen with you. Let me just bring this up. Um, Window. Where is it here? Is this the one? Yep. All right. Check this screen out. So this is a letter from my doctor, Dr. D'Angelo, dated in August. Because I kept getting letters back and forth from Cleveland Clinic, which they're just trying to collect because the insurance had obviously denied it. So it clearly says in here how it is in his doctor's opinion, it was medically necessary to seek a surgery through the Cleveland Clinic Foundation, as this gives him the best opportunity for successful, complicated cardiac surgery, including valve sparing aortic repair. You could read it, right? You see that. August 28th. Now, I'm going to bring up the next page. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me just bring this next one up here because otherwise it's not going to work right. Okay. So watch this next one. This is what I had been getting for quite a while. Can you believe this bill? $240,000. To be exact, $240,194.04. That is what I'm being billed by the insurance company or by Cleveland Clinic. And I'm not beating Cleveland Clinic. No, not at all. I love those. But you can see the insurance was billed, and the only thing that was covered, let me just go to this here. Oops. I should have just left it up there. Hold on. Shared screen, window. There we go. So you could see right here how much the insurance company has. Let me see if I can bring this up a little bit. Whoops. Hold on. Insurance payments, like $3,100, almost $3,200. Insurance and other adjustments, $5,000. The bill originally was $248,454. After all that, the bill is $240,104. Whip de fucking do. So I turned around and got a whopping $8,000 off my bill. $8,000. Yeah. Let me bring this back again. Let's go. Do I have to go to the next page, I think? Yeah, hold on. I guess I'm sharing this. Let me bring it up again. Okay. And I'm going to enlarge this again. How do I? Oh, right here. Look at that. Total patient balance. $240,194.04. Now, you wonder, holy shit, how are you going to pay that? Well, first of all, I have a medical insurance all these years, and then then they turn around and tell me, well, we're not paying it. Wait a second. My doctor clearly stated in here, and if you notice the date of that, was after my cardiologist, Dr. D'Angelo, had submitted this on um, August 28th, clearly states it was medically necessary. So my wife called and said, "Hey, called the insurance company. Hey, what's going on here? This has been denied." Here is the thing that you cannot make up, and this shit is just real, unreal. I mean, so my wife calls and talking to the people at Highmark, and you know what they told her? Well, I'm sorry, but it was out of network coverage. She goes, "Yeah, but they switched them over to Anthem, which is your national coverage." Yeah, well, we denied that too. And she says, "Why did you deny that?" She says, "Well, because we feel that all the stuff needed for his surgery, with the exception of the graft, could have been done here in Buffalo, New York." My wife goes, "Wait a minute. So you're saying he needed to get all the tests done, and then after the test, he is to get the 6 tubes that he had in him, chest tube, neck tube, a bunch of other tubes, along with forget how many IVs, then go under anesthesia, open his chest, crack it open because it was open heart surgery, it was full open heart surgery, and then transported to Cleveland Clinic." Do you know the person on the other end of that call said yes? Holy shit. Are you freaking kidding me? They actually said that. I'm telling you, as God is my witness, that's what they told her. And she says, first of all, how dare you turn around and say that about my husband and another human being that basically his surgery didn't matter and that because we're worried about dollars here, that you want him to get the stuff done here and then be transported. She goes, that's illegal. A surgeon can't open up someone's body and then say, oh, by the way, open box, go ship them. Which, by the way, I would have to be flown. Even if that were the case, I'd have to be flown, and that bill would be 30 some thousand, probably guesstimating, maybe more. I don't know. I don't know what that bill would cost. Can you believe the audacity of Highmark? Unbelievable. My wife was such in shock. She goes, well, you're going to hear from our attorney because there's no way we're paying that bill. They wanted me to have everything done here and then be transported to Cleveland Clinic so they could do the graft. And then it's even better. Then they said they'll cover that part, but then the surgeon would have to ship me back and I would be closed up here in Buffalo. You can't make this shit up. I'm not, I'm telling you right now, you see the bill, you've seen the letter. It's a fact that I'm even now saying it again because I also had to compile a report for the state, because now I have to sue them, which I'm requesting what they call a fair hearing. And pretty much when you say that to an insurance company, they shit their pants and then they'll turn around and settle your case. But at the same time, they need to settle this because this is terrible. We've been paying all this money for insurance and nothing. So I didn't mean to tie this up so long. We're coming up on 30 minutes, but I really wanted to give you a full story of what's going on with these insurance companies because they're absolutely terrible. They need to be held accountable. The government, with a new administration coming in, the government needs to really look at these insurance companies and really not only hold them accountable, but hold them liable as well. For a statement like that was terrible, denying my medical, payment, stuff like that for things that should have been covered under. I mean, what happens if I was outside of the that question actually, my wife did say, she goes, "Well, what happens if we were out of the state anyways, and say something happened and they realize, oh, we gotta do surgery right now. He can't go back home." They said, "Well, we would have denied it." Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Uh, eh, what? That's how bad Highmark is, and I'm sure everybody's got stories about the other ones. Highmark is terrible. So, beware. You can know your policy all you want. You could say, "Well, it doesn't say this and doesn't say that." Doesn't matter. The insurance companies are taking it upon themselves to do what they wanna do when they wanna do it, to put profits before lives. Now, in addition to that, I work with AI all the time. AI is my personal assistant all day long, and I asked it quite a few questions, which the majority of the information is correct and it's factual. And I asked if insurance companies use AI as a assistant to deny claims. It said yes, yes. I mean, let me see if I can find it for you too. I was floored. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Um, I was. I know we're gonna go over, but please work with me. Hold on a second. Okay, so wait till I show you this. You're gonna be like, "Holy crap!" So let's go to share my screen, and we're gonna go to window. Where are we at here? Was this okay? Check this out. I wanted to start this up fresh for you because I wanted you to see. Um, I wanted you to see specifically right here. I asked a question. I wanted to do it fresh, and I said, Do the medical insurance companies use AI to assist in denying and review claims? Right here it says yes, many insurance companies use AI to assist in reviewing and denying claims. AI technology is increasingly utilized in the healthcare industry for tasks like processing, fraud detection, efficiency improvements, and here's how it's used: claim review and adjunction, fraud detection, cost containment, pre authorization and denials, customer experience and compliance, ethical and legal considerations. They don't follow all this. They make their own frickin' rules. But you can see right there, it's very clear AI uses, or I'm sorry, the insurance companies use AI as an assistant. If you want to try it, go to Chat GPT. It's free, and ask it that question, and you'll see the answer, and you'll be like, "Wow." So, anyways, I went a bit over. I'm so sorry, but it really was important that I get this message out to you. Please, I hope you've listened to the whole video, and I hope you watch everything that, between the doctors and insurance companies and everything else, because the doctors too, they may it may seem like it costs a lot, but a lot of time is because they're submitting things and they're not getting paid. It's a negotiation tool. I don't know if you knew that. And again, let me go over a minute or two. I'm sorry again. But the doctor's offices, they put the claim in and they have to embellish the amount. Say it's $1,400 for the service. They have to turn around and say it's $2,800 because the insurance company plays this game with them where they go back and forth. They finally negotiate, and either A, they get their $1,400. Sometimes they get a little more, but majority of the time they're less, and that's money out of their pocket. So they have to find out how to make it up somewhere else. So the doctors and hospitals and that are also getting screwed. The insurance companies have control. When you have a house that's in the millions, you're making too much money. If you have a company that's making billions in profits, there's a problem. There's a problem. I'm all for people to get wealthy and work hard and all that stuff, but not at the expense of human lives. Just not the way it goes. So, folks, with that being said, I apologize if I hurt some feelings or anything like this, but this had to be said. It had to be because now it's affected me as well, and I see how much people hurt from this. So we can only hope that the new administration comes in and they do something about it. So for these things, folks, take care, stay safe, be healthy, and God bless.